Okay, this is now the 5 minute tarot for the 9th of July 2017. And if you've been watching, you'll notice that I'm wearing a different shirt. And this is my attempt, Julie, my attempt to be glamorous. So I don't know if it works or not. Okay, today we're looking at a video sent in by Izabela, who I think is in Poland. And she did a first-time video, good for her. And it works out extremely well, I think, as you'll see at the end, because she picked a card, but it's interesting, if you listen to what she says, you'll see how she kept the question in mind and how she related the imagery of the picture and she sort of turned that into an answer to the question. So here is Izabela.
Hi, I'm Izabela. Thank you for encouraging me to do this video. It's my first which goes public. I really like your channel and I appreciate what you do. If I can help, it's a pleasure. Now, the question. What should you do to improve your channel? I have a card for you. It's reversed 8 of Pentacles.
Okay, so the question that she's answering is what to do, or what should I do, or what should we do to improve the channel? And so with a question like that, I'm thinking about getting suggestions on what actions to take or what activities could be incorporated or added to the channel. And you're going to find that Izabela, with the question in mind about how to make improvements, she does actually make some practical, doable suggestions for how to make the channel okay, I'd like to say that she makes some suggestions as a reader can. The questioner isn't always automatically going to follow along with or obey or cooperate with the suggestions. But what's important is that the reader offers some possibilities and then the questioner can go off and think about them. And maybe they don't follow word for word what they've been told, but because they know the complete or more of the complete picture, they can take bits and pieces of the suggestions that have been made or the ideas that they've been given, and they can work them into something that fits their overall purpose, let's say. So if you're a reader and you're watching this, you don't always have to be 100% right. But if you can start the ball rolling for the questioner, give them suggestions, give them ideas that can trigger what end up being changes that the questioner makes to get an improvement in this situation. I think this is what Izabela manages to do, even though it's a short video, but she sort of gets to the point and she sticks with it. And that's always a good thing to remember when you're doing readings for other people. Talk about what's relevant and stick to the point. Unless you need to ramble on just to change the pace of the reading, or if you want to tell a story that's got a point, maybe you need to tell a longish story, but in the back of your mind, you know what the point is that you want to make, and you're choosing a particular way of getting to the point or introducing the idea.
I think that you've been making these videos like the man who works making precious pentacles. He is doing really a good detailed job himself. I see him as a monk, locked inside a monastery. The thing is that almost nobody can see him. We want to reverse the situation.
Okay, a couple of points here. One is that Izabela looks at the card and she relates the imagery of the card to the question. So we've got the person sitting in the Eight of Pentacles. He's on his own, and we've got the Pentacles. So she says, I've been doing it by myself, in the same way that the person in the picture is on his own doing it by himself. So I too have been running the channel my way and doing all the bits and pieces by myself. So in its own way, that's a good indication that the tarot in some way works, because the card that Izabela chose describes the actual situation. And then she's going to develop the ideas, or some of the ideas in the picture, to give more examples of what could be done to make improvements in the channel. And one of the things is, as well, she says that the person in the Eight of Pentacles in her deck is inside a monastery. And she makes the point that when you're kind of locked away in a monastery, nobody can see you. And just a point, okay, she's using a pen to point to bits and pieces of the picture, and I think this is a good practice. Maybe it doesn't have to be a pen, and I know she's on video, and so you need to point. But she's using a pointer. But let's say you've got you at a table and the questioner's on the other side of the table. If you show them the illustration or show them the card and point to what it is you're looking at, you're going to make the meaning clearer for the questioner, and also they're going to take away a better idea or a better understanding of what point it is that you're making, because the mind remembers pictures, and we live in a visual world, as I've mentioned at different times. We see, something with a red bar across, it means don't do that. So we're used to instructions in pictures and in images. So by Izabela pointing to the coins or pointing to the person, I think it gives more of an impact of the words when you add a little bit of imagery with it. So Izabela's practice or her method of pointing with the pen is a good one, I think, and might be something that you would incorporate into your own readings if you've got the person on the other side of the table. But then she says, okay, so you're inside and people can't see, or I'm inside and I'm not that visible. So it's reversed, and she has a nice take on reverse cards, because she says you reverse the situation, so become visible. And just saying to me, okay, if I'm the questioner, saying to me, become visible, gives me, I think, okay, social media, videos, newsletters, interviews with people, and Facebook and Instagram and all this stuff. And just from one word, becoming visible, sort of opens up a whole range of possibilities for how to improve the channel.
There is a large door and a nice blue sky out there. Yeah. Maybe there is a need to open the door and invite some people in. Maybe there is a need to go out to the larger world, metaphorically or literally. Maybe you should go to the other tarot readers on YouTube or just to other people for the inspiration. Maybe you should stop working alone and start doing something with others.
So the next point is that there's a large door and a blue sky in the picture, and Izabela points this out. So we've got a door, and she says either open the door and invite people in, which is one direction, or else go outside, which is the same idea of there's a door. You can open it and bring something in, or you can open it and move outward, two directions. And she gives me the opportunity, or she reminds me that I can go in both directions, inviting people in, which is kind of what I've been doing with these videos that people have been sending in, or I can go outside. And then she talks about, if you go outside, I can maybe go to other tarot channels for inspiration, or do something with other people. And so she's, again, I think, as with some of the other people, or with the other people recently in these videos, she's actually reading the card. She's taking the symbolism and the illustration in the card and relating it directly to give an answer to the question that has been asked. So it's not so much, or it's no longer so much about memorizing meanings and trying to find the right meaning. It's more, this is what's going on in the picture. This is the question. How do they relate?
And maybe you should just go outside by going to the park and make some videos sitting on the bench next to a tree or something like that to change the background. The thing which caught my attention are these pentacles hanging there. All of them are precious and well made, and in the same time all look the same. Maybe they shouldn't. Likewise, maybe some of your videos should look different, more unique, less like a tool, although a great tool, and more like a piece of art. Maybe such changing the background or making a video with someone else would help. I've seen videos with viewers, so I think that you're on the right track. My best wishes to you. Thank you, and goodbye.
So we're given the idea of going to the park, or I was given the idea of going to the park, and I can see the value of it. My problem is it's technical because I don't have a cell phone or mobile phone, so I can't make a video in the park with audio. I've got a camera, but I don't have recording equipment. So the idea of going to the park or going out, I'm kind of stuck in front of this computer because I've got the microphone plugged in and I've got the webcam. And it works here, and I can get decent quality video and audio, but I'm not really set up at this point to do things outside. But now that Izabela has suggested it, I'll see if I can do this later. So at this point I can't do it, but ideally later I will. And then Izabela points out that the pentacles all look pretty much the same. So if the cab were upright, looking the same would be okay, but it's reversed. So it's not okay. So she suggests making the videos look different and not the same. But okay, so for me, I sort of like consistency, and that's why I always sit in the same place. And I've got these pictures behind me, and up until today I've been wearing the same shirt. Partly because there's something to be said for a consistent presentation. If you look at TV talk show people, not that I'm a TV talk show person, but the set is always the same. They've got a couch and a desk and the microphone, whatever it happens to be. So they work with the same set all the time. And I think it's so that people can concentrate on what the guest is saying or what's being said. So for me, up until this point, I've stayed basically with the same setup. I did think about having a camera over there. You can't see it, but it was going to be over there, and I was going to focus on me. But again, it's kind of technical because the thing is, if I've got a different camera and a different angle and a different setup, then I need to edit more, and that takes time. And also, first I've got to learn how to do it. And maybe I need more than one camera, and you need to cut in and maybe zoom. But if you're going to do that, you need somebody to actually zoom the camera, and you need to get the audio right. So it can be done, and I'll look into a little bit of variety for the appearance of the video in the future. I probably won't do it tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. So that was Izabela, and I think you can see pretty good what she did. She had the question, she picked the card, she related the imagery in the picture to giving an answer or multiple answers with suggestions, doable, practical, realistic suggestions. She wasn't talking about my place in the universe and my life purpose, which can become kind of a little bit hard to believe or hard to take. She was realistic and down to earth and practical in the suggestion that she made. And I think that's a good position for a reader to adopt. So if I'm going to pick a card and I want to be able to say practical, realistic things, or to give a practical answer to the question that has been asked. Okay, tomorrow will be something else. Thanks for watching, and thanks again to Izabela and to the other people who've been kind enough to send videos. So if you've got the idea of you would like to do it, look what the other people have done and how well it's worked out for them and for us watching what they have to say. So if they can do it, you can do it. And I would encourage you to send me a video. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.